I think you've got to frame cyber in almost like a predator-prey context. That what you have are a bunch of predators who see cyber as an opportunity to break into organisations without leaving the house. So in the old days, physical security was a key issue. Companies would make certain that they had multiple layers of defences in place. Now, most criminals will actually use cyber tools, techniques that they can download from the dark web to actually hack into or break into the organisation. You're 20 times more likely, according to GCHQ, to be robbed online than you are in the street. So in that sense, the scale of it is important. About 2.9 million companies will have been affected by a cyber attack this year, and it'll cost the UK economy somewhere in the order of 29 billion. Those are ballpark figures. Christmas alone will probably cost in excess of £1 billion in terms of cyber attacks. So all too often people think, we've got our defences in place, but we don't actually test them. We don't think about how those defences might erode over time, how people might bypass them. We don't think about threats from insiders. We make an awful lot of assumptions that because we are, quotes, good managers, we run a good organisation. What we don't realise is that this gradual shift, as the environment changes, unless our defences keep pace with this, we're actually going to create vulnerabilities within the organisation. So Jim Reason argues that organisational defences are like Swiss cheese. They've got holes in them. And a good manager will look for the holes. They'll try and find vulnerabilities within the organisation that they can expose and therefore close. But that's an ongoing process. And part of the problem, I think, that a lot of managers manage in the steady state. They manage the day-to-day activities. They don't think about how that organisation can fail. And so if you think about the notion of vulnerability in the organisation, it's basically about what happens if a particular resource is not available, if a particular plant disappears because it's been either destroyed physically or been compromised electronically. External threat actors actually very often try and coerce internal people because it gives them access to the systems, it gives them access to passwords. The insider knows where the vulnerabilities are in the system, so they're able to actually point to potential gaps in organisational defences. But some insiders might be disgruntled, some insiders might have a particular ideology that is they've become radicalised either politically or theologically, and they want to cause harm. They might be doing it for money, or they might be coerced. Again, Tiger attacks where bank managers are held, the families are held hostage, so the bank manager will open the bank. Well, those days have gone. In that sense, you don't physically have to enter into the bank to steal money. And some state actors, there's a suggestion in the media today that one certain state actor that may or may not be North Korea may actually be looking to hack into Bitcoin because it's an opportunity to actually extract value at a distance. So you've got this really complex array of internal, external threat actors. Some of them are state actors, some of them are non-state actors, some of them are criminal. So the threat environment is complex and multi-layered. Most organisations think that if they put virus software on their machine or malware software, they're safe. With the Internet of Things, it gives multiple points of access into that system, into that network. Most of those devices may have poor software, they may have vulnerabilities embedded within them, and it's very hard to put virus software on your fridge, as a case in point. Most organisations will have these items of equipment in there. The second thing is that what you have are people who are motivated by either money, they want to extract money from the organisation, they want to use malware to cause you to pay a ransom, they might engage in a denial of service attack. There are a whole set of issues around the ideological motivators that people might have. They might be religious, they might be political, they might be some other ideology. And then of course you've got ego, the person who thinks, wouldn't it be fun to actually take down that organisation? So constantly managers have to think about how their organisation is vulnerable to these sorts of attacks.